Detective Comics number 16, written by John Layman, art by Jason Fabok. This is a tie-in to Death of the Family, but it's actually different than like every other tie-in. So we open up with Emperor Penguin, aka the guy who's just stepping in and replacing Penguin for a while. He has simulated Joker gas, Joker toxin, and has staged an attack to look like Joker. And he's got a few people Jokerized. But then that never comes back. Just kind of keep that in the back of your head, I guess, because it's tying into the main plot. This is a totally different thing. So we see Batman's narration is basically saying Joker's in town, and that basically makes it so that everybody is just a little bit crazy. And all of the normal people who, like, are just right on the edge of breaking when Joker's in town, they go that extra mile and they actually do end up doing crazy things. So we see like a guy's pouring gasoline on an abandoned building and he's wearing Joker makeup. We see a dude getting a tattoo of a giant smile on his back. And we see a dentist who has a patient and he pulls out some crazy tools and he's wearing a red nose and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, you're not going to feel a thing." So Batman's like, all right, so basically it's my deal that, yes, I have to stop the Joker, but I also have to stop all these other people who do Joker things. For instance, he has like 50 gangs that are all in honor of him. And the first one that we meet here is called Die Laughing. And of course, all they do is just wear makeup to look like the Joker. But he says there's a bunch of other ones like Joy Buzzers, Best Medicine, and the Cut-Ups. But either way, he's beating up Die Laughing. And as he gets down to the last guy, he grabs him by the collar and is like, "What do you know about the League of Smiles?" And the dude's like, is that a new thing? Was that an established... I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. So he knocks him out, leaves him for pickup by Jim Gordon, and then heads back to the cave. And we see that there's, as was shown in like issues 1 and I think 5 of Detective Comics, there's a whole horde of people gathering all in support of the Joker, and Batman just flies a drone over them and goes full NSA and just takes like pictures of them for facial recognition, and he's just like, "I'm just being proactive here, I don't see a problem with this at all." And then we get a few glimpses around Gotham where the main group, the one we're going to be following, is the dentist, as we met before. There is a dessert place that there's this woman dressed up as a clown and she has a severed hand in someone's pie. And then just a random hobo looking clown who breaks into a guy's house and ties balloon animals to their corpses. It's dark, but I don't see the connection besides Joker. But either way, Batman's like, yes, they're calling themselves the League of Smiles, and they leave these calling cards at the scene. But there's a fourth member that they haven't publicized, and apparently it's a guy that we saw in the beginning with the gasoline. He burned down the apartment of a psychiatrist that they all shared. So that's the connection. And that guy's name was Rodney Sperman, who, by all accounts, was a good kid, got misled, and now he's Jokerizing. And he goes and he meets these League of Smiles, and he's like, "Hey, my name's Torch, and I want to join your gang." And they're like, "All right, sure, why not?" There is a Joker support group going on across the street for people whose families have been terrorized by the Joker. We're going to go over there and terrorize them. And so they just go across the street and take them hostage. We see Batman. He's back out again. There's a new group called the Funny Bones, which are literally just a bunch of kids. So Batman just shows up and says, like, "Leave." And they're like, "Okay, bye." So they bail. And then we go back to the hostage situation, and they're all just like, "Oh, we know the Joker. We know how he ruins lives. You're going to kill us no matter what." And they're like, "Yep. So here we go." And he tells the hobo-looking guy, whose name is Mr. Happy, and Torch, he tells them, "You guys stay here, watch the crowd. I'm going to go get my tools." And the other lady, dessert clown, I don't know. She looks like Raggedy Ann. That's the best I could describe it. She goes with him. And they say, like, "Look, we just got over the radio. There's a hostage situation on the other side of town. Batman's, of course, going to deal with that one, which means he's at least 11 minutes out. So we have that long to deal with our hostages." So they go out, and we see the Torch is like, "Oh, we're actually going to kill these people. I'm not sure I signed up for that. So anyway, then we see the hostage situation Batman was dealing with. It's two more guys. Their names are Punchline. Sure. And we see they're just dangling people off the roof, and Batman's like, I don't have time for this. So he uses a jetpack, just flies his way up there, knocks them both out, and saves the hostages. And he's like, all right, I've heard about the other hostage situation going on with the League of Smiles. I zoom my way over there, but it takes me 6 minutes to get there. The place is already engulfed in flames. And as he breaks in the building, the only one he sees there is Torch. And he's like, what did you do? Where are your accomplices? And Torch is like, I let the hostages go and my accomplices left. And he's like, why? And he's like, I didn't want to kill them. I felt bad. I didn't even mean to set fire to that first building, the one that got me down this life of crime. I didn't want to do any of this. I just wanted to belong. And then when I let the hostages go, my own group told me I didn't belong. So then I looked at my face covered in Joker makeup on the broken glass nearby, and I just felt so bad. I didn't want to look like the Joker anymore. So I cut my own face off. And we see the entire lower half of his face is nothing but just tendons. And it's like, yeah, sure, whatever. So Batman calls fire department and medical services. They all show up, take care of the kid, take care of the building. But then he calls out to Batman. He's like, wait, Batman, you have to stop the League of Smiles before the Merrymaker does his plan. And Batman's like, what? Who are you talking about? And then we cut back one last time to the League of Smiles. They come back to like their boss, and they're like, hey, the stupid kid ruined everything. We failed you. And we see this new guy who looks like a plague doctor. And he's like, oh, I'm the Merrymaker, and don't worry, things are just getting started. So yeah, there's that. I have no idea if this is going to be a new like side plot to the whole Emperor Penguin thing, but I really appreciate how this issue didn't do the thing of, oh, Joker's making Batman better by getting rid of the sidekicks, and we just follow the Joker doing that for the 12th time. This one is just, no, here's just the Joker's effect on Gotham as a whole. Here's why it's a big deal when he shows up, even if he's not doing anything. So I enjoy that. I think it was a solid issue. I think it was a nice little one and done. Obviously, we're extending out the Merrymaker thing, but I think the story could just stand on its own of just like here is how people view the Joker. And there are some people who idolize him and some people who are hurt by him. But regardless, he is a force in Gotham. It does a good job of getting that across. So overall, I'm going to give this one, and I'll give it an 8. I think it's very good. I can't really tell you why not an 8.5. It just feels like an 8. So yeah, definitely like it.